Hello there, beautiful internet and you fantastic creatures of the beyond. So one of you awesome munchkins have asked me an interesting question. When you create a PNG and you post it on Discord, something weird happens. And I have been fiddling with the PNGs and Discord to see why this issue occurs. And it's quite a technical thing. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I'm gonna exemplify. So let's say we have this shape over here. Now, in general, when alpha is applied to the transparency between the object and the transparent background, when it deals with straight lines, it has no issue. But since alpha is storing so little information in terms of bytes, when it comes to the curvature of your shape or of your path, it starts to create a jagged white seam. And this is because of the compression. And in some software, this can be avoided by messing with the alpha values. But since Inkscape is not a raster-oriented software, and the suppression of the alpha settings are quite limited. And actually, this is not an issue of Inkscape. This is generally an issue of how PNGs react mostly when you interact with them in different software that views them. And it's not an issue across the board, but it can happen. So Discord is one example. So let's make this exported and let's see what's gonna happen. So when we export, right now I'm gonna just export this, right? We don't have a lot of options here. We have the anti-aliasing, but this doesn't help us much. The DPI again doesn't help us. The compression just a tiny bit, and then you have the RGB, but this is more related to the color mode and interlacing. Not much of an effect here either. So if I'm gonna export this like so, yes, okay. Let me go fetch it. So this is it. And now I'm going to post it in a Discord. Yeah, this is my Discord channel, which is not ready yet, but for the purposes of experimenting here, it's gonna be all right. So if I'm gonna add this here, we can see we have no white seam over here, but here, well, it freaks out. And usually you don't have these issues in other software. Like if you put it in, what should I say? Well, actually, let's try to edit directly like so. You see, usually browsers handle this by creating a white spacing here, so it does not. It kind of solves this issue on the go this way. But this is related to browser. So yeah, I understand. This is a special case. So how can we solve this? Now, initially, the way I thought we could solve this was that we could just duplicate, well, we could just duplicate this. Let me just arrange it a bit. And go up. And then apply it as a clipping mask. Where are you? Set clip. No, not set clip group, set clip normal. Okay, there we go. And right now this is clips, right? So I thought maybe if I add a rectangular shape inside made of this darker color, it's going to solve this bleeding effect, you know? So all we have to do is send it all the way to the back, and this should solve the issue. And usually this is the case if we're having objects that are overlapping in Inkscape, and sometimes you have those seams, and this can sort of solve that issue. Or if you're having a bit of a bleeding edge, again, in Inkscape this is solvable this way. But again, if I'm going to export this right now, this group, let's see. Not this one, this one. So now if I'm going to import it again, come on. We have the same issue. So the solution is actually, let me undo everything. The solution is quite clever actually. What we do is we duplicate the shape, the one that's on the background, like so. And I'm just going to apply the darkest color on this second shape. And then we apply a stroke. In my case, I put it 2 pixels, but you can go with 1. I saw that 2 is it reacts better. And then we apply a blur of 5%. So if we overlap these two, because right now this blur is happening right over here, and the transition is very, very subtle, you won't be able to see it. But now, with this selected, I can export what's visible on my canvas on the selection. So I'm exporting everything, including this transparency thing, blurred thing, I mean. And now if I export it as a path1, obviously it's gonna be a different file. Now, if I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna import this, ta-da! Well, it's still there, but it's barely visible now. And this is the best you can do to mitigate this effect, because as I said, this is a technical issue and not necessarily something that's related to Inkscape itself. It's just how PNGs work in general. Some raster software such as GIMP and Photopea, Photoshop and so on can manipulate this alpha to some degree, but even then, this is the interaction of PNGs and Discord at the end of the day. But yeah, this is a good workaround, and it can sort most of the issues if you ever have it. But in general, don't worry. Even if you have this silly line over here, when you open it like this, it's again barely visible. But when you download it, it's not gonna be an issue. Even if you import it in whatever software you're gonna use it, this seam is not gonna be visible 99% of the time. This is just the interaction with Discord. So yeah, I hope this explains a lot. I really hope so. Oh my god, go away line. I don't know what this line is doing down here. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next episode. You stay awesome, and bye 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 bye.